Sharon.
But yeah, it looks like everybody's starting to come back in. The numbers
Yes.
starting to pop in like crazy. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
So we'll wait just a couple more minutes, let everybody come
Okay.
back for grabbing their coffee because it's been nonstop all day on video. So that's why. No,
I'm sure. Yeah. Everybody
Monique,
needs
I'm
to
gonna
stretch
let
the
you
leg.
talk, okay? I'm sorry, Sharon. Monique,
No, no worries.
I'm gonna let you talk and then I'm gonna let the people in, okay? Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. No worries. No worries.
let's see. Watch your
All right.
video.
Christy's letting people in.
Yeah, she's gonna keep letting everybody in. I'll read your questions for you if you want.
That would be great. I mean, I
Make
kind
sure.
of have them up, but as I'm
Yeah.
talking, it might be easier if someone's kind of giving me some. Oh, Amy, thank you. She said she watched the snippet roll. Me too. I love them. I don't know. Ever since I made one like I was hooked. So
Like I made like little snippet strips, but I've been wanting to make one of the rolls so I can just cut off away from it whenever I need it.
yes. And that's what I love about it. Like you just cut it off and then you have tags and note cards and whatever else, and they all, have the same feel to them. So
Yeah. Desiree said she hasn't watched it yet, but now that I have seen it, I'm excited. Yeah.
oh good, good.
I
They're
want to
fun.
go
They're
watch
really
it.
fun. Yeah.
I'm like, I got to like zoom through everybody's videos so far, and I'm like, I just want to go finish watching them.
I know it's a lot though. It's a lot. Oh my goodness.
You're just learning your sewing machine, Desiree. Yeah.
Oh, this is a good project to start for that because it's not real technical. So
So let's do this. Looks like we got a good group of people. We're about 5 minutes in. So if you want, Sharon, just introduce yourself. Tell us what you're all about. All that good
okay.
stuff. Where you
All
started.
right. Okay, sounds good. Hi, everybody. My name is Sharon, and online you can find me at Mad Paper Crush. That's everywhere I am. That's what you can find me at. But I love paper. I have a mad paper crush. It's true. So, and I've been doing stuff with paper for a long time, a really long time. And a lot of my paper stuff started when I was working in a corporate job and I would make planners. And I didn't like the boring planners that I could, get out of the filing cabinet in that corporate job. And so I would kind of make my own. And so I started doing bullet journals, but I would use mixed media to decorate the fronts of them. I would create digitals to create fun day pages that had, different boxes and things on that I liked from that. And that's kind of how I got started. I've also done a ton of crafts, everything from jewelry making to stained glass to basket making to beading. You just name it, probably I've at least tried it. So I have a, a long history of doing all sorts of different crafts and things like that. But when I found junk journaling, and I can't even really trace how I found it. I'm not even sure how I came across it. But once I found it, I was hooked. So because it sort of combined a lot of the different crafts that I have done. And as everybody I'm sure has been saying, there's no rules to it. So you can really do what you want. And I love that about junk journaling. So I use a combination of truly vintage things. I try not to, destroy something that is valuable, obviously, but I do like taking old books that are going to end up in a dumpster somewhere, or things that have been tossed or even just loved by someone else. I like, to repurpose those things into journals and things that I make because I just think it adds, an extra special something to them. So I've been doing that. I spend a lot of time on YouTube doing tutorials of the things that I'm working on and things like that. And I just love being a part of this community because everyone is so supportive. And I really love that because there are so many other things out there and things going on even on the internet today that are not very supportive at all. And so being in this community is really great. So that's a little bit about me. And I did the Sassy Spores snippet roll. That's my project if you haven't seen it yet. So this is it. It's a roll of fabric where I've added things to it in a long roll. And you can just make these for the fun of it, or you can make them to be the base of a cohesive journal. So to have sort of similar colors and ephemera throughout your journal, you can use these snippet rolls to do that. So as we were talking a little bit before we started recording, I made mine on muslin fabric. So I just tore a giant strip of, I think this is about 3.5 inches wide. I just tore it all the way down the edge of the piece of fabric that I had. And then I did that twice and sewed it together, and then added all my little icing embellishments on top there, and came up with this wonderful sort of fall themed snippet roll. Now, this here doesn't have too much embellishment on it. When I make these, I kind of leave them a little bit plain so then I can decorate them. So for example, one of the things that I did was I made a pocket out of a part of the snippet roll. So I just cut this piece off to fit my book page here. And then I added just some, stickers, a label, things like that, that I could add on top of it. And you can still see the snippet roll in the background, and it kind of has the same theme there. So, and this one, this is a pocket, and I just lost my little thing that I tried to put in it before. So you can make a pocket from a snippet roll. You could do a tag from a snippet roll. You could do a note card. This is a different snippet roll that I had done, but I just added the snippet roll to the front of a coffee dyed index card. And then I added some additional embellishments, stickers and buttons and things like that. And I was thinking about some of the other fun things that I could do with a snippet roll. So you could do belly bands with them. I have actually used them to go around a journal kind of as a closure. So if you did a smaller one, you could just wrap it around like a tie on it. I think that would be really fun as a snippet roll. And you could even make mini journals from a snippet roll. So I took this piece of the snippet roll that I cut apart there, and I didn't sew the pages in yet, but I have some pages in here, and you could make a mini journal if you wanted to, and then you could decorate that if you wanted to as well. So there's a whole lot that you can do with a snippet roll. I love them. Yes, Desiree, you said, I can see designing a journal around one. Exactly. And if you have a theme in mind, you probably have some colors that you want to work with and things like that. And I did this one with mostly, not all, fabric. So I did put some paper in there in these as well. So let me just kind of show you here. So a lot of this is fabric pieces. So like this is a fabric piece, this is a fabric piece, but then I also have some vintage ledger, I can speak, ledger paper in there. So this one isn't even all just fabrics. There's papers in there as well. I have some, you can see that, the brown paper right there. Let's see what other papers I have. I think that's about it. Yeah, I have those brown papers in there. And then I have lace in there and things like that. And when you start putting it together, you might think, well, I'm not sure how I feel about this. But once you start sewing it together, I really think it starts to come together as kind of a really cool design. So
I love it.
Yeah, you can go ahead. I'm sorry.
I say I love it. It looks great. We do have a
Thank
couple
you.
questions that I got from your thread.
Okay.
Terry asks, let's see, it said, hi Sharon, I love the roll, so cute. Can't wait to make one of my own. I do have a technical question. I signed up for the freebie. It is delayed in being sent out. Could I be having trouble getting it because I am already on your mailing list from the past presentation? And I checked just to see if there was something going on. It's not, I believe it's not actually being mailed to them. It just opens up right away.
Right. That's what it should have. That's what should happen. So as soon as you put in your email, your name and email address, it should take you to another folder, which is a Google Drive that I have, where all of the files are in there. So if that's not happening, I don't know if maybe that's a pop-up issue, maybe.
I'm thinking it's probably a pop-up blocker, so you might want to go ahead and just check to see if it's a pop-up blocker. I'll reply to it too, but more than likely it's a pop-up blocker. Or you kind of just didn't see it pop up, or it popped up behind the window instead of in the same window. Mine popped up like that, not even 2 seconds later. Mine popped up.
Okay, so you did test mine, Monique.
Yeah, it's fine. It popped right up. I remember testing it before too, because I think it's
okay. Okay.
And yeah, it pops right up, no problem. So more
Okay.
than likely it's just pop-up blocker, or Google may be telling them to log in or something like that, but usually it'll still just pop it up.
Right, right. Because I think I have it set to anyone with the link. So
Yeah.
if it's right in there, they should be able to, after they put their name and email address, it should put them right into there. So
And then another one was, hi, I'm loving the snippet roll. May I ask what weight paper you printed the mushrooms on?
okay, so for the labels and things like that for the freebie printout, I printed these on 110-pound cardstock. So you could do it on lighter paper. You could also print these out on I often will print lighter things onto, I think it's a 32-pound presentation paper that I use. You could use either of those in this case, because if you're going to be adding them to the snippet roll will give them enough weight that you don't need to put something real heavy. I like to print on the presentation paper because the presentation paper prints brighter and is also a little bit more I don't know, heavier, I guess, than regular printer paper. So printer paper to me, I don't print a lot on there because I don't feel like it holds the color real well or keeps the colors real bright. So I like the presentation paper for that. And also the 32-pound, which is heavier than a 20-pound just copy paper. So the presentation paper that I do, Christy, I believe is a 32-pound presentation paper, and then I try to get like as bright as you can get. So I think there's like a range of numbers for how bright it is, and I think mine's like a 96 or a 98 in terms of brightness. And that those brighter papers hold the ink better and show the colors better, I think. So that's what I'm using to print on. So let's see. Kelly says, I've seen a lot of people use a sewing machine. I guess I'm going to have to pull mine out of the closet. Oh yeah. Details. You have to learn how to use it too. The hardest part is getting it threaded to make sure that the stitches actually stay together on what you're doing. But once you do that, you can probably run a straight stitch on anything. So just maybe Google, your model and how to, thread it and you should be good to go.
Like this?
Yes. Well, that's a photo paper. My presentation paper is a little bit different than that, I think.
This one, every time they advertise it both as a photo and a presentation.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Well, how many pounds was that one, Monique? How many pounds was it?
32 with 120 GSM, but it's thicker, I think, because of the coating that's on it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's close. I mean,
Yeah.
32, the weight's probably the same, but they may add a coating to that one that's not on presentation.
It's a little bit of a coating on it. Yeah, I use both. It's pretty cool. Let me see.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think I printed, these are, so I printed out some of the freebie ones as well. So this is, I mean, you can't tell by looking at it, but this is the presentation paper, but like I think the colors are nice and bold and things when using this kind of paper. So it's not the colors, I think, almost bleed a little bit when you just print onto copy paper. I mean, if you looked really close, the presentation paper is crisper, I think.
Yeah.
So thank you, Kelly.
Vibrant, much more pretty.
What's that?
I said it's much more vibrant. You see more details and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's what I use though.
I put that in there. It looks like you had already answered the other question about permanent paper glue.
Yeah.
And what you can use instead of just stress ink.
I was going to say, if you want, I can just kind of go over that because maybe other people have that same question.
So it said, what is the permanent paper glue? So that was part one, if you want to do that one.
Right. So okay. So part
one,
it
was a few parts.
Glue. That's a good. She was asking about the kind of glue because she said she had construction glue. Now I've never used construction glue, but I'm not sure exactly what that is. But the glues that I like to use are this like Beacon 3-in-1 glue. This is one of my favorite glues, and this one's a acetone based glue. So when you put it on your papers, they won't wrinkle. and things like that, like a water-based glue will do sometimes. And so the other glue that I do use sometimes for embellishments, fabric, things like that is this art glitter glue, which is also, this is a good one to use as well, but not if you're putting a lot of paper together because it might wrinkle a little bit. And then I also use this one, my Oohoo Magic Blue Stick. And this one is a permanent glue as well. So all three of these are permanent glues. So, I mean, you kind of want to look at them. I think most glues are permanent. They probably have better glues for what you're doing. So like if you're gluing metal or if you're gluing, certain things, there are probably different glues that work better for those kinds of things. But for the paper and fabric that I mostly do, it's these three. So those are the three that I do. And then part two, Monique?
Yeah, I found out what construction glue is, and I thought, I was like, I swear someone else said that. Yesterday, my brother asked me for that, and I was like, what are you talking about? And apparently it's just like Gorilla Glue, liquid nails. We're talking like for construction. We're
Oh, wow.
talking like
heavy duty glues.
or even something as like super glue, but like super glue, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
What that is. I was like, what do you mean construction glue? Yeah, I don't think you need it that strong, but yeah.
No, yeah, definitely not.
Maybe, I think is what they meant.
Right,
Okay,
right.
and the other part was, let's see, will that be it? What can I use instead of the distress ink?
Right. So I thought that was a great question because I think there are some options for things that you can do. One of the things is shoe polish that you can use. So I have a little stash somewhere. Where did it go? It was in here somewhere. No, that's fine. Oh, here it is. So I have some of this. It's just shoe polish, but it's brown. Now it's real thick and gooey, so you kind of have to watch when you put that on. You'd have to do it real light. But if you used a brush or if you used one of like a Michelle or like a makeup applicator, something like that, you could use that. And then the other thing I suggested was you could use paint. So you could use some brown paint if you wanted to. I also suggested like brown eyeshadow you could use. Now it might be a little powdery, but if you just want a light touch, I think that would work fine because it would stain it just a little bit, I think. I'm trying to think. I just thought of one more thing and now it slipped right out of my mind as well. Oh, I was going to say you could even use pencils. If you have like colored pencils and you could just rub them along the side of your paper, I think that would work as well. So there's lots of options. Be creative, look around and see what you have. I bet you could find something to use as distress ink.
Let's see. This is cool. So I don't need fabric glue. That's great. Have not.
Yes.
Shoe polish. Back to, let's see, I use 32-pound for my journals. Paper just holds up better. Yeah. I love papers. Let's see.
Thank you.
And get stronger glasses to see the itty bitty needle. Love those prints. Like, yeah, that's what I'm wearing right now. I'm like, what?
I know. I have mine right here for ready to go for when I need them.
The other day I thought it was too funny. I was told myself, oh, I'm officially in the old lady status because I couldn't find my glasses and then I realized I was wearing two pairs on my shirt at the same time. I was like, oh, and I still was running and looking for the other pair.
Oh no. That sounds like me. They're usually like up on top of my head or something and I don't realize it.
I think we got all the other ones. See, Holly is saying that you don't have a pop-up blocker and she's having the same issue. Holly, I would check to see if it's hitting behind something. You may have like even a defender or something like that that's not allowing it to load, or it may be loading really slow. Look for another tab to open. Because all I did was I filled out the form and right away another tab opened up next to it in Google Drive. So it's trying to open a Google Drive window. So that might be it.
Oh, and I think you said that was Holly.
Yeah, this one's a different Holly speak.
Okay. because somebody named Holly emailed me. I don't have her last name, saying that she was putting her name and stuff in and wasn't getting to the um, to the printables. So I'm not sure what's going on there, but I didn't know if that was the same Holly who had emailed me. Mine is not opening as well.
Yeah, I would definitely check that because it's basically like a pop-up. Windows, I know, I know that there's an ad block automatically installed when you download Chrome. So if you're using Chrome, you might not notice that it's actually enabled. It enables itself and it constantly reinstalls itself every time they have a new version. And sometimes it'll reset everything even though you've allowed it before. Make sure that you have something allowing, it's like a built-in pop-up. And now Windows just did a recent update, and I've been getting a lot of Windows Defender things where it's not wanting to open a lot of stuff and I'm having to re-give it permission. And that happened over the last couple of months now. I keep having to tell it to stop it. And then
Yeah.
if you're on an Apple, Apple is very good about not wanting to allow, or on a Mac, it's not allowing things through. If you're on a phone or something, it tends to sometimes disappear because you can really only have one screen up at a time. So sometimes it disappears or downloads somewhere or tries to open the window somewhere else and it gets closed right away. So you might want to try that as well. Yeah, I'm seeing it come up pretty, mine just keeps coming up right away. I keep trying it and it seems to do it okay.
This is the one where on the presentation page.
Yeah, the Sassy Spores snippet roll. It has the paper, the free project file.
Okay. I'll
Unless
check
you guys are
too.
talking about
I'll
a
try
different file, but yeah. Have issue with other drives shares popping open in a new tab. I'll try researching for them.
Okay, Holly, I see you answered there. I got your email and I tried to respond to you, but it bounced back for me. So I'm not sure what's happening there. Like my email didn't go through. It says that the message could not be delivered. So so I will try again. I don't want to put your email up here and stuff, but I'll try again after that, after this, and see what I can do to help you out. So I'm not sure exactly what's happening, but we'll see if we can get you taken care of. Okay, worked for Kelly. Okay, so something's going on there. But
yeah, I think it's just some browsers not up and letting it through. Finally able to get it after I changed to my work email address. I'm having that issue with.
Yeah, that's another good thought, Jenna. Maybe try a different browser. I'll just check the settings on. I mean, if other people are getting to it though, the settings are probably correct, I would think.
Got right to it.
Yeah.
It opened up a whole folder, right?
Okay. Yeah, it should have a folder with all of the files in it.
See, I was in Safari and undid blocker, still don't look. Safari's a little funky. I hate to say it because I was Apple tech support for years. Safari will block it even after you unblock it. You end up having to sometimes restart your entire browser. You might need to actually close down your entire browser. And if that doesn't work, sometimes you actually have to reboot your computer for it to kick in that, because it's kind of all tied into the same system. Safari can get a little tricky. Try that one more time. If not, we'll see if we can do it another way or something. We'll get together with Sharon after and we'll figure it out after.
Yep.
But no worries, you guys will still be able to get those. Anything we ever have any problems on, believe me, we will not do you wrong. We will make sure that you get it. Even if it times out. I know, oh yeah, just really quick. We know we're having a little problem with my video. We're gonna switch where it's being housed and you guys will be able to still watch it. So you have plenty of time to watch it. So those will be okay. Worked for me on the computer and the phone. Yeah, I think it's got to be settings that are different. But like I said, if your computer recently updated, that might be causing the problem.
I think Desiree, you'd asked how many images it is for the class freebie. There should be 8 pages. So there's 8 JPEG pictures in there that print out on a full sheet of paper. So that's what you should be seeing when it goes in there.
They're very pretty. I want to play with them.
Thank you.
I'm like,
They're fun to play
like, ooh, I want to make a book.
with. Yes.
Let's see. So we have any other questions for Sharon on anything else on her snippet roll?
Yeah.
I have a question.
Sure.
So when you have your muslin sewn together and you have this long strip, how are you like pinning down everything and then putting it through your machine, or are you just putting it through
Actually,
your machine and just like doing this?
no, actually not that. I'm doing in between that. So I'm not pinning everything down because that's way too much work. But I am working in sections, so probably like 2-foot sections. And once I kind of lay everything out to sort of have them basically where I want them. And then I'm using my little glue stick to just sort of glue everything onto the muslin. And then I just run it through my machine. So I know some people would probably freak out about running a needle over glued paper, but I just put a little bit on, just enough to hold it in place until I get it into the machine. So, and that seems to work. And like I said, I only work in like 2-foot sections. So I don't, have to roll it up, with it just being tack glued down. So that works pretty good for me.
That's perfect. Thank you.
I have a question too, please.
Sure.
I keep getting interrupted, so I'm missing things. I apologize. Where will the freebies be?
So if you go to my project page, so if you go to the hub of the retreat, and
Okay.
there's a link for the daily schedule.
Okay.
And then when you scroll down and see my little face,
Okay.
if you click on my little medallion there, that should take you to the project page.
Okay.
And then on the
look for
project,
that.
and then the project page will have the link to download the freebies.
Okay. Also, can you list the papers and weights somewhere that you use? I couldn't write them fast enough.
Absolutely. I will put it in, well, actually,
Yeah, it's part of the pass. She has a whole worksheet, but it is part of the pass.
Okay.
So if you have the pass, you'll have a separate login and you
Okay.
actually get the worksheet with everything. But there is also, that'll have like whatever size or anything she put on her worksheet. But if you go back to the hub, there is a full supply list.
Great.
So the full supply list is there. You can download. But to get the full worksheets, you do have to have one of the upgraded passes, and you can get all of that.
Okay. One last thing.
sure.
And that is my experience with shoe polish is that it rubs off on things.
Okay. I mean, when I've used it, I haven't noticed it, but I also try to use it just minimally. I'm not putting it on really heavy. And this shoe polish that I have, it does seem to dry pretty permanent too. So you may need to just give it some time to really dry well.
Just a warning, if people are trying it, maybe they should see if theirs rubs off.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Holly, I see you got it to work using a different email address. That's so weird. I wonder what's up with that. That's goofy.
I wonder if when they put the email address in at first and they had tried it at first, it's like, oh, you already got it. So it doesn't pop it up again. So I'm thinking it might have been blocked before and now it's unblocked
Maybe.
too. So which means if you clear your cache and your cookies right before you try again, I bet it'll work now.
Yeah, that could be.
You got a couple of questions that were like up there. Let's see. Are you on Facebook or YouTube?
I'm not on Facebook as Mad Paper Crush. I am on Instagram and on YouTube as Mad Paper Crush. And you can just search for Mad Paper Crush on either of those things and I should pop up for you.
And if you go up to the top on any of like this daily schedule or anything like that, at the very, very top says meet the speakers. All of our speakers' social media information is there. So be sure to follow everybody. It's the best way to thank them. Just going on there and showing some love. So anytime you want to look for anybody, if you go to the very, very top, you'll see meet the speakers at the very, very top. Click on that and it'll give you everybody's social media, website, all of that. And then of course we're happy to share it a million times over. Not a problem. Let's see. And then let me go back down. Let's see. If the needle gets gunky, can we pull it out and clean it?
Absolutely.
See,
I
want
do
to
that
use-
all the time, but usually if you kind of let the glue dry, like I said, I'll use this and kind of let it dry before, you know, I put it under there, and I usually don't have any problem at all. So, but yes, you can still take it out and clean it if you need to do that. So,
Kelly said that I'm going to try colored pencils and watercolors.
oh, that's a good idea. Watercolors might work too.
That'd be fun. Let's see if I missed anything else. It was a lot about the Chrome and who got it to work and who didn't. Yeah, if you guys run into any more technicals though, just go ahead and give us an email over and we will help you. And you can find the help email on any of our pages as well for contact information. And we'll get back to you. Like I said, just give us a little time. Sometimes it takes us a bit to get through all the emails and things like that. But yeah, helpdesk@junkjournalretreat.com. I feel that I have found my people.
You have, Kelly.
Yeah.
You have arrived.
Let's see. There you go.
Let's see, I'll show you another little snippet roll I made. Now this one I made in the spring, but I kind of did it the same way. This one has a little bit more paper on it, but I used up a lot of different scraps and stuff for this one. But I thought this would make a fun sort of spring themed one. And I put it on this old spool. Isn't that fun? Sometimes they're fun just to put on an old spool and have them sitting on your desk.
Yeah, that's what I like to do. I like to make things just so I can look at them.
Yes, me too.
I can't find the links to the 24-hour recordings of former lives and the daily schedule on the website. Am I doing something wrong? I live in Europe and most of the lives are in the middle of the night there. So all of the recordings for the Q&As will show up on our YouTube channel. We will put that up. It just takes a little time for them all to get processed. So they will be done since we've had our first day. They basically have to download for us, process, then we have to upload and process. And then, so there's a lot of them that we have to put up. So bear with us. Those will be put up for the Q&As on the YouTube channel. As far as the lunch and learns that have happened every day, those are only going to be available in the Magic Muse Pass portal. And again, we will make sure that everything is loaded to the Magic Muse Pass portal that was live by the end of next week, just because we're going to have a lot to do. And as you can see, like I said, we've been in the Zoom room all day nonstop from 9 a.m. On. So we kind of have to jump between to get it all loaded. But rest assured, everything that's supposed to be there, it will be there. And just as long as you keep going back to your hub, you'll always find it. No problem. Let's see what else that I found here. Because I wonder if anyone has old cash register receipt rolls. You could do the same thing, but glue the bits instead of sew them, maybe.
I've actually done that before too. So here's one. This is an old cash register receipt roll. Now I don't have the snippet roll anymore because I think I used it for something, but that's a great idea to use something like that for that.
I was going to ask, have you tried it on the paper tape, the brown paper tape rolls?
Yes, I have. Now I think that's what this was.
Oh,
So because it's a little bit shiny. I think that was the brown paper tape that I used to make these. So this one was all paper. There's no, I mean, besides the sewing, there's no fabric in this one. This was just all a paper snippet roll. So.
And have you ever tried to actually use it, like wet it and use it, or like new glue?
Not for this snippet roll. I haven't. When I did this, I just glued it using my regular glue. But I mean, like, I'm just kind of feeling it now with my, since I'm sweating a little, since I'm nervous. I can feel that it's a little sticky.
We're all friends here.
I know. But it is a little sticky, so it might work. I mean, I sewed through it, so I don't know how that would hold, because that stuff is pretty sticky when you wet it down. So I would think it would work. That might be fun. And even if you didn't want to sew, you could just glue everything down and use that, just like you said, Monique, you could just wet the back and use that on something. So
I've been
thank you,
tempted.
Susan.
Like I've been tempted. We seal all our packages from our shop with it. So I was like, I'm gonna sneak a roll out of the supplies. Be like, I'm gonna need this for something else.
Yes, I need that. I need that.
Yeah, she was also thinking of that, but just using a craft paper roll. She said, deep breath, doing amazing.
Thank you. I was going to say, I have this stuff too. I mean, it's too long probably, or too wide. I mean, but this is, if you go to a hardware store, this is the paper that you can buy. Like, contractors will put it down if they're in somebody's house and they don't want to get their dirty shoes all over something. I think I forget what it's called, but I use this for a lot of stuff too. This is fun to use for something, but you could even probably tear that in half and, use that too. So I don't know, look around and see what rolls you have. You could probably make a snippet roll from it, I would say.
See if it rolls, use it.
That's right.
And that is pretty heavy. And that's
pretty
heavy.
heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see, make sure to miss anything. I like packing tape. I like paper packing tape. Yeah, I do too. It's fun.
Oh.
All right. Do you have any sewing tips?
My biggest sewing tip is, well, I don't know. This is a hard one because people might not agree with me, but I think don't feel so precious with your sewing machine. People are nervous to sew through paper and things like that. I have an old sewing machine. My sewing machine I've probably had since I was a teenager when my mom was teaching me actually how to make clothing. But you can always replace needles. That's the biggest thing, especially if you're sewing through paper. Now, you're not going to sew through wood or something like that where you might break a needle or break your machine. But sewing through fabric and paper and things like that, do it. And you can do it and your sewing machine can handle it. Just buy a pack of needles. And then, as I think it was Desiree who said, take your needle out of your sewing machine and clean it if you need to. But I love the way what a sewing machine adds to a junk journal. So let's see, I guess I can. So this is one of my journals, but like I love sewing the edges of things and then leaving, strings out and things like that. I think it just adds so much to add a little bit of stitching to a junk journal. So, and I do that all on my regular sewing machine. So, I mean, I don't make clothes anymore, but couple years ago, I was making masks and my sewing machine still worked fine for that. So it's doing okay. Thank you, Holly.
They said all you need to do is dust out your machine when you're done.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yep.
Yeah. Which you should be doing anyway.
Yes. Yes.
Otherwise, people always ask what's wrong with it. It's probably that you're not dusting it out. You got to clean it.
Yes.
And
cleaning it out. Right. Maintaining it. Yes, that's true. Trying to think if there's any other sewing tips that I have. I was going to say that the other thing that if you don't sew paper often, and you start to sew, sometimes your paper will start to tear. So the thing that I recommend for that is to, make your stitches larger, because if you're making your stitches larger, they're not going to be so close and it's not going to like perforate the paper. So start with as big as stitches as you can to at least get the threads on there, and then you can tighten them up a little bit, but I always keep them very loose when I'm sewing through paper, because that helps it to stay in the paper without tearing out. So that's another sewing tip that I would have.
Desiree said I like sewing lace on journal pages instead of glue.
Yeah,
I learned the hard way, like sewing it too close, and I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, right. It's just it sort of perforates right apart. Yep.
Yeah, and you're my kind of designer of, I love leaving all the threads out and
Me too.
String when I pull apart like books and stuff like that. I love it when it has the extra string hanging out of it.
Yes, me too. I love that.
Okay.
Yep. Not everybody likes that. I've had people say to me, why don't you cut the ends off? I'm like, well, you
I
must be a
don't like
sewer
it.
because sewers would cut the ends off, but
Yeah.
me, I love leaving it all kind of messy. You can even
Do
see
you
my little,
just, yep, I think that makes it look so pretty.
me too.
Do you just straight or zigzag stitches, or do you do quilting over the paper?
I've only done a little bit of quilting. Most of the time when I'm creating a journal, I'm just zigzagging around the edges or straight stitching around the edges of something. So I haven't done a lot of quilting, although that would certainly, I think it would certainly work or be fun. You could probably do a really fun master page, you know, one page with all kinds of stuff collaged on, and then do like a, you know, quilting stitch over the whole paper. I think that would be fun. But most of the time I'm just doing a straight stitch or a zigzag stitch around whatever I'm working on. I'd be the one to trim it, even though I love the look of the crazy threads. Yeah, some people have to trim it, you know, and that's okay. You can do that. I'm just not gonna.
If I'm not paying attention, I'll go and I'll trim it off because I'm so used to right after I sew, I right away trim it off. But then I remember, oh, wait,
Right.
that's not what I'm doing. I didn't want those gone. And here I am trying to fray it some more, try to get it back again.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sort of the opposite. When I am doing some real sewing, you know, I'm leaving all these ends. I'm like, what am I doing? Because then I have to go back in and trim them all up. So I've trained myself the other way.
I haven't used my sewing machine since I moved, and I've been itching, and I want to do a snippet roll so bad now.
Oh, and I was surprised. I was thinking when I did the project, I'm like, well, you know, I'll just do a 3 foot snippet roll, but it came together so fast. When you're working in, you know, 2 foot chunks, I mean, you only have to do it 3 times and you have a 6 foot snippet roll. So it came together really fast for that really long one. So
I think I'm gonna put it over this guy.
um Susan, I see you said you no longer make clothes. What, may I ask why? Because I'm too busy playing with paper. I've actually started making some bags and things like that. So canvas bags or waxed canvas bags and things like that. But no other reason except that I have other interests. You know, I just would prefer to be making some other things. So what is Swan J?
But others who haven't been here know what a snippet roll is.
I don't know. I will describe it though, if you like. So a snippet roll is just a name for taking little snippets of things, papers, fabrics, lace, whatever you have, and sewing or gluing it onto a longer piece of paper or fabric so that you can roll it up. So that's all a snippet roll is just putting all sorts of little snippets of things onto a long piece of paper or fabric so that it creates a little roll. I hope that helps.
And I'm pretty sure you have it explained on your video too, a little.
I think so. I think I tried to do that at the beginning of it. So
Yeah.
as some
Or you
people,
ask, I am wondering if they're asking for a different reason, like, or do you mean like if you were to ask someone else outside of this
oh,
retreat, or are you asking because
outside
you're
of
not
the junk journal
sure,
community,
or
that's true. I don't know that they would know what that is. I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure even where that term came from.
so yeah,
That
outside of the retreat, I've heard it before. I personally have heard it a lot with different things. But I think
yes.
it's just like anything else. It's something that all of a sudden somebody mentions it and you learn about it. But there are a lot of tutorials out there and
Yep.
all
I
over.
think that people in the junk journal community would definitely know what a snippet roll is. Outside of the junk journal community, like even sewers who do sort of traditional sewing, I'm not sure that they would have the same definition that we do. So, I mean, those are the words that we use to describe this thing, but I'm not sure outside of, you know, our little junk journal community if that's exactly what that would mean. So, just like jelly roll, when Desiree said jelly
Yeah,
roll, I wasn't sure exactly what she was talking about.
I was like, oh, I know what she means. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos and things out there, Desiree.
Because there's a lot
Oh,
of,
okay.
I guess, terms or verbiage that
Yes.
are distinct just to junk journalers or to paper crafters. It could mean one thing in one area and something else entirely in another area. But I think they also use it because I know I've seen snippet rolls of fabric and paper that people use and sell as like decoration for
Okay.
like, houses and to put over windows and things like that. I've seen that too.
Okay. Maybe it is a little bit more wider than I would have thought. I don't know.
I've seen it those
And
two ways. I don't know if I've seen it anywhere
Swancha.
else than that, but yeah.
Am I saying that right? Swancha? Is that right? I don't know my German, but that's very, I love that name. Little Swan. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I made this like forever ago because I was bored. And
Oh,
I did
look at
this and
that.
I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna put this on the snippet. I'm gonna put a snippet roll right on top of this sucker now.
Oh yeah, that would be a great idea. Wow, that's really
Like
neat.
when it rolls up, it's like this big.
Ooh, whoa.
I couldn't stop. I was like, ooh, this is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really neat. Oh, okay, Kelly. Thank you so much for joining me. It was great talking to you.
It's a Dutch name.
Very close. Oh, it's a Dutch name. Oh gosh. Wow, Dutch and German. That's interesting. Very cool.
We got about another 10 minutes or so, it looks like. So if anybody has any more questions, go ahead and ask your questions. This is a perfect time to pick brains. Pick everybody's brains right now, especially Sharon's.
And I see Susan said Bodabra has a snippet roll tutorial using ribbon. Yeah, that's another great idea, using ribbon. So, Risa. Bye, Risa. Thanks for joining me.
I keep forgetting it's later for everybody else since we're all Pacific Coast.
Yeah.
It's like dinner. I'm like, dinner? I haven't even had breakfast.
Oh my gosh. That's no good.
I know, bad about that. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what else I could talk about.
You want to show us some of your journals? People love.
Sure, I'll show you one of my, so I showed you that other little one. So I've been loving doing the flip-flop journals lately. And so this is another flip-flop journal made from Amazon, recycled Amazon packaging. So I don't know. I just love how you can flip through. Obviously I can't show you the whole thing here, but flip through and then you have like these things that you can flip through. This one's like a big one. There's a lot of stuff in here. And then when you get to the back, you turn it over and you open it up on the other side for more flips and stuff. So you can see, and all of my stuff, I have so many things that I sew. I'm sewing around everything. So I have these are not sewn. That's one thing that's not sewn. But I love doing these flip-flop journals. They've been real fun. And this one I tried to do like a old operator theme. I thought that was fun.
I like that. Cute.
That's my
LOL. I had such a hard time this morning giving up my saved Amazon packaging to my son that needed it to mail items.
I am constantly squirreling it away. And my poor husband, when he finds it, he's like, can I throw this away? I'm like, no, you can't throw that away. Stop throwing my stuff away.
I think it's padded. No.
Yeah. I need that.
You know, the one I wish I could find more is that padded envelope type of style where it has like the fabric-y inside. So it's all nice and fit and soft. I don't see them as often anymore, but it's like a gray fabric, like mushed up,
yes,
cottony thing that's in the middle of some of them.
Yes, I bet you if I look through my stash, I have a couple of those. But you're right, I don't see those that often anymore. They're probably too expensive to make or something. Yes, that's a flip-flop journal. So this is a small one. This one doesn't have as many flips in it. But it's, you go through the first side of it. You go through all the different flips, and then when you get to the end of the book, there's more flips on the back. Whoops, I have things falling out. Yeah. I have a little tuck
And I
here.
just checked
So
the flippity floppity journal thing is up and running very nicely.
Oh, is that, and you're doing one of those,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, I love them. They're so much fun. I love them. So,
But I thought I found a good way to, I thought I found a shortcut to make it easier for when Christy loaded it to embed it straight from Google. But then apparently Google only allows you to play it 10 times. And I was like, oh, that's not going to work.
oh, wow.
I did not know that they had a limit to play it. I don't understand that one. I understand housing it, but I don't
Yeah.
understand replay down to, when I saw, I was like, oh, what's the limit? Like 100, 300? Where did it stop? Apparently only 10 people got to watch it.
Oh, no. That's
I was
terrible.
like, oh, okay, never mind. Guess that shortcut didn't work.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that Jenna said the inside reminds her of dryer lint. That's true.
Yeah, that is what it reminds me of. Packed in
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I never saw
You're
that
welcome, Betty.
before. Yeah, and you might not even notice it until like you actually rip it enough to see the inside of it. But it's like it does. It reminds you of like gray dryer lint, but like really dense and not so fluffy, not so linty.
Yeah.
But it's really
I'll have
cool.
to look through my
It's like a
stash.
softer quilted filling than other padded envelopes.
Yeah. Welcome, Desiree. Thanks for joining. Am I the last one for today?
No.
Oh,
Wait, yes. My brain is oh yeah, I was
you
looking
need
at
to
the wrong day.
practice with me.
Sorry, yeah, my brain's a little tired. Actually, I was supposed to do one earlier. I had a little bit of an emergency in the middle of the day, so I will stick around if anybody has any questions about the flippity floppity after this too.
Gotcha.
I was about to put it on the schedule for mine because we totally forgot to book ourselves.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, huh?
Whoopsie.
My daughter is up looking at me from upstairs.
Oh,
And she's giving me the little, ever since they were a baby, we taught them how to sign when they're babies, and she's never stopped using the sign for I'm hungry.
oh, really?
So she's 17, mind you. So she's doing this to me right now, and I'm like, go get it yourself.
Get your mama some breakfast.
Yeah, I'm hungry. Go get me some food. Your grandma's in there. Go. Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to think if
It's
there's
really
anything
fun.
else.
I'm gonna, now I finished my artwork on the first page. Now I'm going to get my muslin.
I know I wanted to sew and sew and sew. But yeah.
Nice.
I just found a whole pile of little scraps and stuff. I don't know. I just have things stuffed everywhere. I know nobody
Yeah.
else is like that.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
This
I'm
is
gonna
probably
do
stuff
this.
that was shoved somewhere.
Yeah. So if anybody has any more questions you got left, I mean, definitely you're welcome to stay on as long as you like. I'm good. We always hang out after the last person anyway, and just kind of hang out for a good half hour to an hour. Yesterday we were just laughing in here for about a good hour or two or something.
Oh, that's
So,
fun.
Thank you for the tips. It's nearly midnight here. I'm making the roll tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jolene. Great.
Oh,
I would love to see it after
forgot
we get-
too. I don't know if we ever ended up announcing it. I don't think we did. We found out last minute. We didn't know this was available for anybody that still wants to get the pass. You can definitely still get the pass. You can head over anywhere, hop and get your pass in there. But we found out that you can actually use things like Afterpay and Klarna to break the payments in 4. So if you wanted a good investment, like I said, you're still saving over $2,200.
Yeah, it has to be over $2,200 that you're saving because I know stuff was added after you counted. So
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, we didn't know that it was possible. For some reason, I don't know what it was. I was looking at, I was like, I wonder if it works with it. And I was like, it does. So it was pretty cool. So yeah, there's the Magic Muse Pass. So if you want to be able to watch all these videos, all these great presentations, all the replays, because you guys, I will let you know right now, the Q&As, all of the lunch and learns, all of that. Plus, like, we have some of the presenters saying, hey, I'm going to give you this file so that people can use it after for the Magic Muse Pass. I'm like, all right, I'll add anything you guys want me to into the Magic Muse Pass. So I've gotten a few more files from different speakers to add to the Magic Muse Pass. It's not even listed. I added a couple more things. So I was like, oh, wait, this could be kind of cool to use too. So yeah, if you guys still want to get it, yeah, because you end up paying less than what even the original thing is like now, and you have a chance to pay it in 4. I know with Afterpay, it's 4 payments over 6 weeks. So it drops it down a lot. And so basically every 2 weeks. It's today and then every 2 weeks after that for the next 6 weeks.
Isn't it like no interest or anything like that?
No
You're still
interest.
just paying the same exact amount.
So I know a lot of people end up buying them with their credit cards, but credit cards like to charge interest. I don't like interest. No interest, and in my experience, no.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
It
They,
says
I
that.
know
I
they
didn't know
give you
they
like
knew.
yeah, they give you like a grace period or something like that, but if not, they will. I know some of them will, so you want to read which one. Like I personally have used Afterpay before because I didn't want to pay interest or anything like on a credit card to put it that way. So it's really fun. Because I think before they didn't do it on services, and now all of them started doing it on services, and they're really secure, which is what I really like. And they handle everything for you,
Oh, wow.
which is really good. I started offering it on my website later. But yeah, if you guys were like looking at that, I know some people were waiting, like they didn't quite want to spend the money right now or waiting for like a different part of the month. It makes it a lot easier. We're getting ready to eat. This has been a very informative day. Definitely.
Bye-bye. Thanks for joining.
So I'm going to do this for myself. I want to first say thank you very much
Bye,
for
Ezra.
participating in everything and being here today. So thank you very much, Sharon, for all of that.
No problem. I really have been having fun. So this is such a great thing, and I love being inspired by everybody's work and stuff. So this is great.
Be very fun. And then we'll be seeing
Yeah.
everybody again on Friday. Yeah, Friday. I'm like so thrown off. I keep wanting it to be like we started on a Monday, but we started on a Tuesday. Yeah, so we have a lot more stuff
Thanks,
coming.
Finn. Thanks, Kathy. Thanks, Nadia.
See.
Thanks, Melissa.
All right, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna let everybody, I'm gonna take a quick break, just to put some food in my mouth real quick. And then I will come back in about 10, 15 minutes. I might even just grab my food up here while I do it. If you guys have any questions about my project, like I said, it is up. If you didn't get a chance to watch it earlier, it is up for sure right now. So you can watch it for a little bit because the first part of it is actually pretty quick. It's the decorating is what takes forever towards the end of my video for that one. But I will be back in 15 minutes. And thank you, Sharon, again.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Thanks
Yeah,
for
thanks
joining.
for being here, Sharon. It's so fun.
Yeah, no problem, Christy. Thank you.
All right. I'm going to take
right.
about a 5-minute break too,
Yeah.
and then I'll
We'll
be
leave
back
the room
as
open.
well.
Yeah,
All
we'll leave
right.
the room open. Stop the recording real quick and then.
We'll do.
So long, everybody.
Yeah.